Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audiblepodcast.com/Sorgatron Media. Over 75,000 titles to choose from for your iPod, iPhone, or MP3 player.
Hey, you're listening to the Wrestling Mayhem podcast. This is professional wrestler extraordinaire, Colt Boom Boom Cabana. I don't know why I'm hyping the Wrestling Mayhem show, considering all you do is talk about IWC Pittsburgh Wrestling wrestlers, but you never really say how great former IWC heavyweight and Super Indie champion Colt Cabana is. Plus, I got a podcast on the wrestling at WeLoveColt.com. But hey, I'm in the podcast world now, so I'm getting some love to the Wrestling Mayhem show. It's a good choice. I'll see you later.
Wrestling Mayhem
Show.com.
It's the best day of the week. Today is the day that you have chosen to listen to the Wrestling Mayhem Show. This is DJ Lunchbox, putting it the fuck down for you. Let's fucking do this. Monday night, you know it must be raw. Leaders being a whore and not wearing a bra. Seeing his damn belt still spinning around his waist. I can shit better rhymes on what comes out of his face. Tuesday night and it's EC Dub. Michael Q Knoxville joined the club. If you're sick of the shit, scream out boo boo. This ain't EC Dub and we can tell that too. Wednesday night, ROH on DVD. The best wrestling on the planet to the nth degree. Joe Damon's Delirious, Daniel City, Kimikaze, Homicide, the Rottweilers, and Kenta Kobashi. Thursday night, TNA on Spike. Bruce's spoken so that...
What's up, guys? Wrestling Mayhem Show 239, very special, very holy day edition of the Wrestling Mayhem Show. It's Sunday, it's mid-afternoon, which is so atypical of anything that we've done. And of course, we're during the Steelers game, which was great planning on our part. But we had to move it here. We did something really special for the Awesome Cast. Yesterday, we watched the Social Network, went to a coffee shop in the South Side, and had a bit of a roundtable discussion with Chachi, Malengo, and Rob. And there was a furry appearance. So go check that out over at awesomecast.com. That just went up today of Sunday.
Good Lord, furries.
Anyways, that's right. You know that, very exclusively there, Russell.
I know that more than possibly anyone should know.
And then, of course, DJ Lunchbox is keeping us up on the scores for the game, for the big Ravens-Steelers game today. 7. What's going on over there?
It's 10-7, and the Steelers are losing, and that sucks. But it's all right because it's the Ravens, and I'm sure they'll fuck up anyway.
They've been looking good today. The Steelers have been looking good aside from that. So there you go.
Yeah,
and of course,
Charlie Batch.
Charlie Batch is he had a couple overthrown passes which were kind of worrisome, but this is not the Football Mayhem Show.
That happens. Roethlisberger has overthrown passes all the time. So.
There you go. Like I said, and of course, also on the line here is WrestleFan on the phone lines because his internet has gone bunk on him.
See, communist Cuba has banned internet from all of Cuba, so now I am calling from a cellular device this week.
That's all right. We got a picture up to be representative of you speaking, so so you're here in spirit. You're here in spirit.
I wonder what this picture is.
You wonder what this picture is. You'll find out when you get your internet back, buddy. Anyways.
Speaking of which, if you want to talk to WrestleFan personally, all you have to do is go on over to twitter.com/Mayhem Show.
Oh, did you put it up?
We put his phone number up on the air. So.
Oh, look at that.
Wait a minute.
There you go.
Yeah, it's right there over on the Mayhem Show, or on the Mayhem Show's Twitter, so.
Also, quotes from WrestleFan are on Mayhem Show on Twitter. But that's how you can find us. Go check out all our stuff at WrestlingMayhemShow.com, Twitter at Mayhem Show. We don't have any emails today since we're having it earlier, so I don't think...
Do we really don't? Let me check.
Well, we kind of have one that I forgot. Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com if you want to send those in. And you can send into our phone line at 412-206-WMS0 and we hear your voice on the air. And of course, check out our iPhone app where we'll have all kinds of fun gold stuff going on there. There you go. Sorry.
We can, I'll tell you what, Sorg, there's a, something we used to do, on the Mayhem Show when we didn't have a lot of emails. And,
we'd make up emails?
We're gonna do it here. Let me, no. Let me make a search here.
We make an
Oh, God.
We write an email to another show live on the air.
No.
Are we bringing back last week's Facts of the Week?
Man, we should. We
No.
should. We definitely
No,
should.
unfortunately, no. What we're going to do is we're going to read a classic Juggalo Jamie mail.
I do want to stick out there. There is one email that was not read last week, and apparently I've lost it again. If you go ahead and do yours, and I'll find it. You there?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, this I might just have to read a couple of these because they're short but sweet. This is from Juggalo Jamie back on 1/13/09. Hi Lunchbox, fuck yeah, Edge is back. Sean is JBL's bitch, and Sean lost at his smile, and now he lost his house. 5 cent of each JBL's Mama Juana, which is oddly spelled right, will be thrown at Sean and his family. Dolph Ziggler was on the Spirit Squad, ah ha 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 ha, from male cheerleader to retarded Ric Flair. Raw was awesome. What the fuck? JYK was fired. I missed that part. Kazarni is awesome, and fuck TNA. Lunchbox is awesome.
Excellent. There was one email that slipped through the cracks last week on the show from Rudy Stacy. It says, I have something to say. Short and sweet.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. I was wondering what happened to WWE Diva Mickie James and WWE Superstar Kung Funaki. WrestleFan, do you have an update on the Mickie James situation?
She was fired.
She was fired, but she's also looking like she's popping up in TNA here. There's speculation she may pop up as soon as this live edition this week, according to DivaDirt.com. So there you go. She's in talks with Dixie Carter. Things are happening. On top of that, they're also pushing for even more divas. I said Becky Bayless had got a contract recently. Christina Von Eerie and the former Katie Lee also have tried out recently. And I don't know if they're alluding that they tried out.
Oh, I hope they bring Katie Lee back. I'm a big fan of her.
They're already talking about if Mickie James comes in, she's pretty much going to be the centerpiece of the Knockouts division for the time being. So, and as far as Kung Funaki, let me bring up. Oh wait, I think this is the wrong page here. No, this is the right one. Kung Funaki, right there. If you remember him, he was Jobber of the Week, #1 SmackDown announcer there. He was let go a while ago, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what it says here about what he's doing recently, though. Pro Wrestling 01, he's been after his release. They signed him back to return to Japan and team with Fortin student Ikuto Hidaki. Hidaki? I'm really great with this stuff, I know. Yeah. And he was released on April 22nd. What? What's up?
Something I found in an old Juggalo Jamie mail.
All right, do we got another classic one for you?
Go on.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was looking at videos and he linked the video to something called Full Throttle Douche Bottle, and that's really fucking weird.
Oh, I remember we playing this. Is it the one where it's like give you energy? Is that the one?
No, that was a different one. Although it's the same style.
Okay.
Hi Lunchbox. What the fuck? Gold Dust returned. Fuck him. Fuck TNA 2. It's Kenny versus Spenny was on it. Was who is the best wrestler, and the Iron Sheik was on it. Fuck awesome, and Spenny lost, and Sheik kicked Spenny's ass. Also, he put him in camel clutch, and fuck him in ass. Go Lunchbox.
All right, perfect,
tremendous,
perfect, and that's your fan mail for this week of sorts. Let's see. We don't really have any indie news. There hasn't been a lot going on, and WrestleFan hasn't had the internet to find any indie news apparently. So we'll go right into the news we do have.
All right.
Yeah.
WrestleFan actually he will be leaving us. He has to take a family member somewhere.
He can drive? He can drive, that's right. He didn't even tell me he left.
He has his own car.
He didn't even tell me he left.
He's got a pretty sweet ass car.
Oh, does he? What's he got?
I don't know. I know it's sweet. I know it's fucking pimperific.
Oh man,
Because it's the WrestleFan
Mobile. Excellent.
Mobile.
Excellent. Well, this is like the good old days, LB. Just you and me shooting the shit on the wrestling.
I know.
You know,
Yeah.
you're not hopped up on
Talking
NyQuil.
No, I'm not.
You're not hyped up on
I
NyQuil.
actually started the day with B12 and ice cream, so I'm feeling good.
You moved up in the world. All right, let's move into it then. Sean X-Pac Waltman, arrest update. He paid a $358 fine in a New Jersey courtroom Tuesday. Received the fine when security in Newark International Airport found joint in his possession. So there you go, a $358 joint. So, and he moves on.
Yep.
Yeah. And of course, the big pay-per-views.
How does he still get work?
I know, exactly, right? Well, he didn't get work for too long, did he? Bragging rights, well, it'd be like, he's one of those guys that he's a name people will remember, for better or for worse. You stick him on your indie card and hope you get a few more fans. But,
Yeah.
Of course, the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view is tonight. I'm sure we'll get a chance to watch it here. But one of the matches, the John Cena Nexus, about the Nexus disbanding if he loses, right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, I realize I'm on the wrong computer. But they had the poster up for bragging rights, teasing. I just have Frankie Muniz on here. My bad. They have a poster up teasing the Nexus's involvement in bragging rights. We'll pull it up here for you.
Yeah,
guys on the
it's
video
all
feed.
it's all Nexus.
No, it's not all Nexus.
That's not the.
Hmm?
Oh, it's not.
No, it's a lineup there of guys from SmackDown and Raw. So it looks like they're going to do the tag match like before. But you see the N, the black and gold N on bragging. So just a little teaser.
Yeah.
Now I've thought about this. What if they do? What if they throw another spin on it, and Cena does win? They disband the Nexus. Well, Wade Barrett makes a new Nexus with season 2 people.
That could be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, that's the Miz. I thought I saw JBL on the poster. The other thing is, that's not the only potential spoiler. WWE is having their Fan Appreciation Day Saturday, October 30th in Hartford, Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
They have already announced a few of the matches, and now these are potential spoilers, but there's John Cena versus Sheamus, Randy Orton versus Wade Barrett for the WWE Championship. Very interesting. That's a potential spoiler for a couple of matches. A fatal 4-way for the heavyweight championship featuring Undertaker, Kane, Edge, and Big Show. That's not really a spoiler. Either Taker or Kane will have it. Rey Mysterio versus Alberto Del Rio. And it just says MVP, Daniel Bryan, The Miz, Michelle McCool, and Natalya will all appear. So, like I said, it's another potential spoiler. Could go wrong.
There you go. Now you're talking to me a little bit about this, the Fan Appreciation Day before the show. Tell us about it and about things looking up there for WWE.
Things on the stock market are looking up for WWE. They have been posting relatively poor pay-per-view numbers and ratings numbers, but that doesn't seem to matter because in another article on The Motley Fool, which is a website completely based around the stock market and investing, a guy named Andrew Bond heavily recommends WWE to the stock market buyer. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of potential for growth. Their partnerships with Jax, Mattel, THQ, Burger King, and ConAgra, which is the producers of Slim Jim, which is, quote, the official meat snack of the WWE, mm-hmm. And recently served as a presenting sponsor at WrestleMania. They have a lot of potential for growth, and the bottom line is this, and I quote, "It may be easy for Wall Street to look past this unsophisticated entertainment. However, fools know better," fools being what they call their readers, know better than to not pay attention to a company with a strong management, strong business, and tremendous growth potential. They mention how dedicated Vince McMahon is to the craft, going so far as to be involved, get in the ring. And I mean, most of us look at it like that's kind of crazy, but on the other hand, maybe that's a good point. He is so dedicated to his company, he will get his hands dirty.
What other do you see Donald Trump really getting as involved with his company to that extent? You know, I mean, it's really, it's really atypical for the head of a company like that. You know, like a billionaire guy like that to get so involved, for sure. Now it's interesting.
On top of that, which I didn't actually realize, in May 2009, quote, he and the other family insiders took a cut in their dividend payments to maintain the stated payout of the other shareholders. Basically, the McMahons and a few other people took a payout of 24 cents instead of 36 cents, which I guess is, you know, on the dollar or every dollar made or whatever like that, showing their dedication to protecting shareholder value. And that is very impressive. Intentionally taking a pay cut so their shareholders won't have to. That's pretty cool.
But well, this is interesting because you know, there's been a lot of talk recently about how the ratings have suffered for WWE programming, especially Monday Night Raw's getting throttled lately. Ever since football came back, it seems like it's more severe than it has been in the past, to be honest. The preliminary numbers just came out for SummerSlam. Again, they're worse than they have been the previous year, which were down from the year before that. And there's been a trend of this every month this year for equivalent pay-per-views, and which is interesting since they've been doing this whole gimmick thing. So a lot of the pay-per-views have been brand new up until just now with Hell in a Cell, of course, was started last year about this time. And it kind of goes back to a lot of people really discount TNA, saying, well, they might be getting 10,000 buys on their pay-per-views. What do they expect to do? They're only getting a 1.1 rating or whatever on TNA. They're never going to hit what WWE does. But it's that international market. It's the promotional stuff. It's those partnerships. That's what really gets you that money. Your TV is just a platform for that, you know. And then the international, TNA is doing fantastic in the international market, from what I understand. And unfortunately,
yeah, I've heard that the only reason that they can continue to do stuff in the States is because of their international market.
Yeah, they had a real big push on it. You've seen the videos recently on TNA's programming where they show them internationally, and they look like they're bigger arenas from what I've seen from that. I usually tune out the promotional stuff, but I know I've seen it in the background there. Well,
that's one thing that, I mean, TNA, they don't have such a lockdown on their talent that WWE does. So when they go overseas, they can work with other promotions and work with other wrestlers and people who are already stars over there, which makes their stars bigger. WWE, you know, instead of going over there and wrestling their talent, they're going over there and wrestling their own talent,
and I think
is still a draw, but. You know, it's just, I think it's a harder mountain to climb.
I think the other thing you can put out there is, whereas in the States here, obviously wrestling's kind of been on the downward spine, the downward, run. Used to be a day, I remember, Norm Connors, I think, told me once that all you had to do was put on a wrestling show and a few hundred people, like 800 people would show up back in the late 90s. It was hot. Everybody would just wanted to see wrestling. It's not that way anymore, but it is that way in other countries. Remember when Sterling James Keenan was on this show, and he was just getting back from his trip. I think they went to Sicily, wasn't it, or one of those Mediterranean mountains where they don't get shows like this very often. Yeah. And great guy that he is, he's not a huge international star. He's not Rey Mysterio, for instance. And he says he went over there and got mobbed. They're just excited to see wrestling and wrestlers. And I think when TNA goes over there with like a Kurt Angle and Jeff Jarrett and all those guys that are names, they don't have the stigma attached to them for being from TNA like they do here in the States. Because here it's, well, they're not WWE is the excuse. And anybody that thinks if you're not in WWE, you're not worth, anything. As opposed to back in the day, WCW was maybe held up to, at least an equal standard in the 90s at least. So there go.
I mean, this goes back to something that you said last week, actually, that TNA doesn't have that rich history that WWE does. WWE's been around forever. You know, TNA is still relatively new. WCW did have that rich history, and that's why I think they could compete with WWE on that level.
To a point. I think, well, WCW had the history, had the NWA. Yeah, I had the NWA stuff attached to them, so everything feels bigger at that point. We talk a lot about TNA does stuff that is just as good, if not better, than what you see on WWE programming, but it doesn't feel as strong. You know, you don't get the same feeling from Kurt Angle winning that championship as you do from, for sake of argument, Triple H, winning the title back. It's like, all right, he won the title. It's just, the stage is different. The Bound for Glory is their WrestleMania. It will not feel half as special as even a half-assed WrestleMania this year.
Right, I agree.
So you never know. I don't know what they can do to change it, to be honest. And do they care to change it? Because they're making money at it. So
I gotta wonder. Like, I need to add. TNA isn't publicly traded. So I can
no, that's the other thing. And a lot of
Panda Energy. You know what Panda Energy is, though.
So I wonder.
We keep doing this. We keep going back to the Panda Energy website.
And there's nothing there.
It's not very helpful.
So
I want to know
when Panda Energy has their report to their stockholders. Panda Energy isn't something that's making news like WWE does, because WWE pops up like on your Motley Fool, your Yahoo Finance, because it's interesting to people. It's the Google for sports entertainment. People want to know what it's doing. And it's doing very good. When you have, Panda Energy is just another energy futures, whatever. It probably just blends in with the rest. Is TNA even come up as a venture for it? So, since it is kind of like under, it's like going back to how would you find out the financials of WCW if it came out along with the Turner Broadcasting news in the long run, and then
I did a search for Panda Energy, and the headline was Vince McMahon sells WWE to Panda Energy, and I was like, well, that's not. And then I saw the date on the article. It was April 1st of this year. So, well done, Bleacher Report.
There you go. I see like Panda Energy selects something about flour. Oh no, it's a guy named Flower. Okay. Private company information and Business Week quote news. You don't see anything related to TNA. It's probably one of those companies that have all kinds of other. They created a limited liability company, TNA Entertainment, or administer TNA. In 2002, they were the guys that saved, because TNA. I think the Between the Ropes book really illustrated the early days of TNA. TNA facts and information. It says they're a majority owner in TNA. Was 71%, and this may be old as well. Who knows? So when we'll have to I just got your Vince McMahon sells WWE to Panda Energy thing.
Yeah.
The Bleacher Report.
Their website. Their website's it's so ugly. It's such a crap website.
What, the Panda Energy
It's always under
website?
construction. Yeah.
It's complete crap. We've had it on. Yeah, we brought it up before. It's like copyright 2006, and I don't think they bothered with it. So the internet.
Wait a minute. Then how did we get a hold of them before?
How do we? I think
they must have taken that down, because remember we called them.
We did call them. I bet a bunch of people called them. That's fantastic.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
What's up?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh. I just found something.
What'd you get?
I found the admin login.
That doesn't mean anything. We don't have the password or anything.
Yeah, but we could speculate.
Speculate.
Is that legal? Is that legal for us to do that?
I think it'd be
I don't know
clarified.
if it is.
It could be clarified as hacking. Oh, yeah, user login is like, if you type in Panda Energy on Google, it comes up as the second entry. That's not safe. That's not safe at all. Why would you have that indexed? Yeah, and there's definitely not a well, the admin link is at the bottom there as well, but there's definitely not a phone number anymore. But wow,
They probably got sick of idiots like us.
Bitching about TNA. It's like, oh, we can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder if they get more press because of TNA than whatever they do in the energy company. You never know.
Username does not exist. Fuck.
Well, your IP address just got flagged. So,
That's
anyways,
fine. It's probably flagged for lots of stuff.
Yeah, you're on a list somewhere, that's for sure. Let's see. Panda Energy. We had to find all the key people, the president and everything, for the thing WrestleFan brought up last week on their Wikipedia
There's Dixie
page.
Carter, Andy. Andy Bart.
They're in
Chris
Texas.
Sobel, Mike Weber, Dean Broadhead, Steve Allison. Owner Robert W. Carter.
Yeah, and the information for TNA is actually on their Wikipedia page. So, and their only other activity is Panda Ethanol Inc. Remember, never say no to the panda, as Doc Remedy showed us on his Facebook this week. Did you see that? I recommend go on Doc Remedy's Facebook page if you guys have friended him on that. I know some of you have. There's a "Don't Say No to the Panda" commercial, or just type that in YouTube. You'll probably find it too. I might have tweeted
there was an old. It's an old commercial about punching pandas in the face, and pandas wearing glasses and drinking coffee. It was like, I say, and then punch them in the face.
Pandas or koalas?
Koala is koala.
And the koala punching came up this week, I understand.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
so
I'm all for that. I have a GIF of that actually.
Oh my!
What?
Anyway,
Michael Cole works for TNA. There's a security guard named Murphy, who works for TNA. His real name is Michael Cole, spelled exactly the same. Wrestles under the name Mikhailo Judas.
Fantastic.
It looks like a knob.
Chris Nowinski. Chris Nowinski.
Nowinski, yeah.
He was recently in the news, according to ProWrestling.net. He had a conversation with the Philadelphia Inquirer and recalled a long talk he had with Vince McMahon on the matter last week. Of course, Chris Nowinski was had to leave wrestling due to concussions he had. And he's been kind of been on a crusade since to make the NFL and the pro wrestling and all the sports more aware of the problems with concussions. A big proponent of it ever since the Chris Benoit incident. And he recalls talking to Vince McMahon and says, quote, "The WWE interestingly made more advanced program more quickly than the NFL 6 months after the Chris Benoit tragedy." I've never heard of this. I never heard that they actually did anything about this. They instituted a neuropsychological testing. They've had it over a year now. And they have pre-talks with new hires on concussions and CTE. They limit bumps in their wrestling school, repetitive falls on your back, which is what bumps are. Nowinski noted WWE does not advertise their head trauma policies and said it's likely due to liability reasons. So there you go. Full interviews over at Philly.com. So that is interesting. They made the comment here. He spoke positively of the changes in the NFL, but because the NFL basically ignored it previous to the big scare, with Chris Benoit and a lot of the awareness that he's done. So that's in a day where I know we've kind of made some comments about TNA and some indie wrestlers taking headshots and everything. It's nice to see that WWE is actually kind of taking a step forward in this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll notice when was the last time there was a headshot with a chair?
Yeah, no headshots in the chairs. Which that kind of goes with the PG, I think. But it's really good to see that from them there. I'm trying to switch your camera. Okay.
Although it makes me wonder how long that'll last. Like if they're gonna eventually go back towards the PG-13 or R rating.
Yeah, I kind of wonder with with Hell in a Cell and everything, if maybe this will be a step towards him. I don't know. Everything's all supernatural and everything with Taker or Kane. They're probably gonna stay away from it. So.
Oh, supernatural. Yeah. I hope for a lightning fight. Oh,
I'm waiting for it. Electrified.
So
Maybe they'll turn it into an electrified cage match. No. Let's not do that. Let's not do that at all. Actually. Anyways, let's see what else we got here. What's that? What's up?
Nothing. I clicked the wrong button, and some things that I wanted to see didn't show up.
Hulk Hogan to undergo another surgery. I don't know this Monday or last Monday. Of course, he's got more videos up there. He has like wires in the back of his back. There was one thing I read where it sounded like his lower back and everything was on fire. This guy's in bad shape. He is in bad shape for a guy like in that shape that he is. He's doing rough. I don't think think and hope we don't see him in the ring again for this. I mean, they'll probably come in and punch a few people like he did. I mean, that's really all we've seen from him so far in TNA is him coming in with some brass knucks and punching Flair in the face, and that's it. But man, he's in bad shape. But
yeah, well, that's Hogan.
That's Hogan. Let's see a surgery
for all the.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's gross. For all the shit he's done and all the people he screwed over in his life, and even all the good he's done, you know what I mean? And like people have been saying for years, hang it up, give it up, this, that, and the other. Really, he really doesn't have anybody to blame for any of this except for himself. Mm-hmm. It was his decision to keep coming back, his decision to keep getting in the ring, his decision to throw away his money.
I know the story behind his knee surgeries, because one of them was he had a knee injury just before he got his big push, like the Iron Sheik first title run. And of course, he had that title off and on for like 4 years, and he was the guy for 4 years to be the main event on all the house shows, all over the place. He was the moneymaker for WWF in the mid to late 80s. So he put off his knee surgery that maybe would have circumvented a lot of these problems that he has now. Of course, not the back, but still. And
well, even so, was he one of the ones that just got the neck fusion surgery instead of getting the?
I don't think he had the fusion. I don't think he ever had neck problems that I'm aware of. It's
hard to have neck problems with his limited moveset.
Yeah, it's been mostly back and knee. Of course, that could be the neck too, for all I know. But I think it's just bumps over the years. I mean, great, he's got a limited moveset and everything, but he's put his time on the mat. He's taken the bumps. He's as much as anybody. You fall on your back, how many thousands of times over 30 years you're going to do it, unless you're Ric Flair, because you're a fucking cyborg. With a I
think Ric Flair just has a very reliable and very discreet pain medication source that keeps him full of morphine. He doesn't even have blood anymore. It's just morphine.
Now, I didn't catch the beginning of TNA, but one thing I did catch, speaking of Ric Flair, we can go into that. I happened to tune it on, and there's Mick Foley and Ric Flair on my screen, bleeding from their faces, and just talking on microphones. Again, I didn't see the beginning of it. I didn't catch exactly what this is. I was hoping maybe I know WrestleFan watches it, and Mike, to his chagrin, watches it too. So I was hoping I can get a little bit of clarification there. But it's still one of those where that's the reason those guys are still around, because I still thought it was a great promo from what I saw of it. And maybe excited to see those guys fight each other this week on Live Impact. They're going to be in a last man standing match, I think, for the last time and everything like that. Great way to promote Mick Foley's book.
Wait, say it again?
It's a great way to promote Mick Foley's book.
Oh, right. See, those two guys I've seen them go through so much shit, respectively. Mm-hmm. That one match, if it's a last man standing match, needs to be the full pay-per-view. They need to go 4 hours in this one match.
It's not the pay-per-view. It's the live Thursday Impact this week. But you know what? But I think they're kind of smart to the point. They're not trying to drive people as much to the pay-per-views. They're just making sure that the show is good. You know, I think it's part of that
true.
kind of shifting of strategies we talked about. Maybe they'll be going away from the pay-per-views. I mean, I think after maybe the turn of the year or whenever you think the contract might be up for the pay-per-view stuff, I think you're going to see a shift in TNA. Their attitudes change, the strategies change a little bit to that. There seems to be a de-emphasis. We had a pay-per-view that was a glorified tournament. Great matches, but it's not being pushed by a title match, which has been the MO of, you know, every pay-per-view since almost the dawn of time, you know. Except for SummerSlam 89 and 90. Or maybe 88, 89. I can't remember. Anyways. But still, it just feels like they're putting it on as another show that's more wrestling, which is great, you know. Yeah, I think everybody still delivers, but they're not putting anything as big behind it to actually get buys up. And I think they're going to be doing something different. I think these live impacts, these show pay-per-view quality shows like they did when they had the ECW pay-per-view, I thought was a really great idea. I think it's a test to see if these actually do something, as far as maybe, you know, their fan base or anything, or just get reviews, or maybe, you know, see if the rating bumps up a little bit. I don't know if the rating bumped up a little bit when they did the last one. So I don't know. I think it can't go on the way it is. I think you're going to see WWE drop another pay-per-view, go down to 12 because it's a 2 weeks thing. I think Hell in a Cell is something that should not bomb. Okay.
I agree. It's a very good, very good. It's very good all the way, all the way around.
I mean, they've done a really good job on lining up the Undertaker Kane thing. It makes a lot of sense, but it really feels like I think the only other Hell in a Cell match we have is the other title match. But it really just seems like, really, we need this for these guys. It's just there because it's there, because we happen to have a cage in the building. It's like in Pittsburgh when everybody had a cage match in the same month for no reason at all. I'm still going to go back to that. That was a fucked up month here in the area, because there were 4 feds that had a cage match. It was stupid. Not all of them were stupid, but I mean, the ones I saw were actually quite good. But it was stupid that, you know, everybody's like, oh, it's another cage match. You know, that
'tis the season.
'Tis the season for cages. You know, August is cage match month, or cage match discount month. It depends on which way you want to look at it. But anyways, we got any word on WrestleFan? Is he still taking?
I just got a message from him.
You just got a message from him?
Yeah.
We bringing him back?
Hold on, it's coming up.
Oh, he's coming up.
It's coming up. It's coming up.
I love when you're like, I gotta go check something, and he's like off screen up there. Look at you, just like. Although the best thing when we were doing the Awesome Cast is when Chachi just gets up and walks away from the table in the middle of the recording. No explanation. I think he went to go to the bathroom or something. I don't know. Anyways.
He says he's not sure if he'll make it back in time. The lines are taking forever.
The lines? So, where is he? At the DMV?
He had to go get food.
Food.
Yeah.
Man,
not for him, but for his little brother.
All right, I got you. Anyways, what else we got here on the rundown? I think you put a couple things in here aside.
I do, but you know, we were talking so much about Hell in a Cell. Why don't we do a Hell in a Cell rundown?
Yeah. It's going to be partly useless because I think most people will watch this after they've watched the pay-per-view.
That's true.
So,
okay, well then, let's talk about how good the pay-per-view was. How
good was the pay-per-view, LB?
Oh man, it was so good, so good. In a very surprise. Oh, Julie Bologna just ripped on Jeff Reed. That's weird. Okay,
nobody
too
else
much shit going on.
Okay.
In a surprise move, the one of the best matches of the entire night was Michelle McCool versus Natalya. Natalya won back the Unified Divas Championship, and that was a grueling 20-minute match between these two, where they pulled out all the stops. There was interference, there was violence, there was weapons. It was just absolutely crazy. And Natalya won. She won the Unified Divas Championship. But I mean, that was a hell of a surprise. I was surprised. Weren't you surprised?
I was really surprised, LB. I was super surprised. I mean, it really feels like the Divas division is really gonna really going to supersede the the knockouts. I mean, it feels like wrestling's come back to the women's divisions.
Right. All
exactly.
because of Natalia and Michelle McCool.
Exactly.
Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, Michelle McCool. I mean, the old teacher and everything. I mean, that's great. That's awesome. So what else happened? Well,
there was the triple threat submissions count anywhere match, which wasn't really much of a triple threat, because they did their entrances and all that, and Morrison came out, and Morrison's hair caught on fire immediately. So needless to say, he submitted right away. So they just went ahead with the match with Miz and Daniel Bryan. Okay. That one was a bit of a shocker. They got in the ring, and Miz lost almost immediately to Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan put him in the old, not the crossface that he's been doing, but cattle mutilation. So Miz tapped right away. So it was pretty interesting, I gotta say.
Excellent. Now, and of course, John Cena, Wade Barrett happened, and what happened there, Albie?
To the spoilers were correct. John Cena did lose to Wade Barrett, and he joined the Nexus. And then he promptly took control of the Nexus. And they beat the living hell out of Wade Barrett, ejecting him from the group immediately. And John Cena did turn very super heel that night. And Wade Barrett, I guess you could call him a baby face if his face wasn't all smashed in and covered in blood.
Yeah, it turned out that this was the plan the whole time.
John Cena's been the mastermind behind Nexus. He's been given the secret plans and all this stuff. It was really quite incredible, really quite interesting. And they did go with the blood. A lot of blood.
So the blood has returned. The blood has returned.
Wade Barrett bled like a champ, like Ric Flair on vodka. Yeah.
And of course, this is Tuesday, so Monday Night Raw happened too, and not only was John Cena behind the Nexus, but he revealed the mastermind behind the Raw GM.
That's correct.
Yeah, J.J. Dillon.
Yeah, they had to have this whole retrospective video package to tell people who J.J. Dillon was. But I was surprised. Were you surprised?
Yeah,
I was surprised.
I was really surprised. He declared. I mean, he did this a lot, even though there's a lot more than 4 in the group. So I think that may have fallen on deaf ears when that happened. But other than that, I thought really really interesting, shocking television there. I hope it really helps them. So.
I thought it was great.
And of course, the Hell in a Cell matches we were talking about.
Yes, we did have Kane versus Undertaker, which was excellent. There was the first 5 minutes of the match was pretty much a lightning fight. Paul Bearer was destroyed, sadly, but the urn remained. It was only just like kind of like a smoking crater with the urn in the middle of it, and the Undertaker, of course, got all angry and fought Kane, and he went and won back the title in spectacular fashion, because as he tombstoned Kane, lightning struck the entire cage, and it was really something to see. It was really something to see. You should have seen it. You should have seen it.
Excellent. And of course, the other one was Randy Orton and Sheamus.
That match, it had some problems. First off, I mean, they wrestled. They both were in this cell, and it was great, and they were doing all right until the Nexus showed up, the new Nexus, starring the one and only John Cena, and they took an acetylene torch, cut their way into the cage, and beat the crap out of both of them, just the living hell out of both of them, and beat them severely. And then, it was this whole, we're the new Nexus, this is a message, we're going after everybody. And they left, and they're laying there, and I'm waiting for the pay-per-view to end, and I'm like, well, that was kind of anticlimactic. And then they show back up, and I'm like, what the hell are these guys doing? They were just out here, why bother leaving? Well, it turns out they have a new member, and it's The Miz. And The Miz comes out, and he pins Randy Orton and cashes in his Money in the Bank and wins. And so Randy Orton, your new WWE champion, and not Randy Orton, Miz, your new WWE champion and new member of Nexus. So it's going to be pretty interesting.
Fantastic. Good pay-per-view. I'm glad they can pull off such a great show in just 2 weeks' notice like that. I think WWE can be commended for that. And TNA should be shaking their boots. So, anyways.
I agree.
Well, at that point... Anything else you want to hit on before we head out of here?
Well, it is, there's 14 minutes and 6 seconds into the fourth quarter, and the Ravens are still beating the Steelers 10-7, and that blows.
Oh, okay. So the good job Jeff Reed I saw earlier in the Twitter feed was not.
Yeah.
Well, holy shit. Browns are up by 13. Insane, what Chachi says.
Yeah.
So, well, I guess it's time. DJ Lunchbox, what did you learn from wrestling this week?
I learned that lightning fights are always awesome, especially when they make you wait for them. I learned that John Cena is going to be a great heel. I'm absolutely excited to see his heel work. And I learned that it's impossible to round people up for a show on a Sunday.
There you go. There you go, especially with the Steelers playing.
What did you learn, Sorgatron?
I learned that, again, I'm always happy to see that, Ric Flair and Mick Foley going at it, on the mic is still pretty fantastic. Also, apparently TNA just discovered You've Been Iced, Bro. And I think that's going to be the thing that kills Ric Flair. Because they did it to him 2 weeks in a row. I don't understand where this came from. I don't know why they're doing it. It's hilarious when they do. It makes absolutely no sense, so Mad Mike will hate it because he likes logic in his professional wrestling. What the hell was that? Something just moved in the studio. I have no idea. Apparently, the ghost of Mad Mike is angry.
That's well, you've been iced, bro.
You've been. What the hell? Are you looking it up?
Bros icing bros. Yeah, bros icing bros.
You know this concept, right? You've heard of this?
No.
This is when you take a Smirnoff Ice, like a bottle of Smirnoff Ice, put it in front of somebody, and say, "You've been iced, bro." And they have to get down on one knee and chug it. We actually did this at the Bucko's Tweet Up. Look in my YouTube feed for You've Been Iced, Bro. And there's AJ Kuftik that's been on the Awesome Cast is got iced. We'll look it up. Hold on a second. We can put it up right here on the show.
I just found it.
All right.
Well, not that, but something else. I see it. That's fucking weird.
We'll bring it up. We'll go out on this on the show, perhaps. Hold on. Phil for a second here.
Yeah, it's apparently it's where does it say? Icing wasn't the Trojan horse, but the Smirnoff Ice was what our Trojan horse was carrying. Finally, we had a nationwide bromance, during which we all agreed upon the contents of our Trojan horse. Wow. One bro got iced by the cops. That's interesting. I do kind of want to, what the hell? Watching your bro kneel down and chug a Smirnoff Ice.
There we go.
Is the icing on the cake of your Trojan horse.
There you go. He's been
universal agreement.
Gotta show the label, apparently. No label on the TNA ones.
I gotta do this with jet lag. I hate y'all.
He just came back from France.
You have to drink the whole thing?
Yep. Oh, it has to burn. I bet it burns. Yeah, he didn't even get through the whole thing.
Yeah, you get a France, you eat good shit, and you come back and you get a...
This is like shitty Sprite.
Anyways, that's the kind of fun we have around here in these parts. So, that was from the Bucko's Tweet Up that we did over the summer in front of a Pittsburgh Pirates game. So, there you go.
The bromance.
The bromance. Thanks DJ Lunchbox for coming in on this Sunday.
Hey, you got it. You got it, sir. I'm going to go commune with Jesus.
There you go. I'm probably going to go to Walmart in my own way. Commune.
In your own way.
In my own way. Yeah, I think that's the plan. This show will be up, I think, later today, of course. Well, if you're watching it, there you go. Again, this week, we're SorgTronMedia.com is taking the week off. We're going to get the Chachi Says up on Monday, and then that is going to be it until next Monday, at least. We'll be at the New York Comic Con. Myself, Mad Mike, Chachi, and wife of the show, Missy, is going to be there. Who knows? I got a professional badge to get in there early. I don't know if I'm going to try to get interviews. I don't think any wrestlers are going to be there this year. But we'll be around. You'll be hearing a lot about it. Follow me at Sorgatron on the Twitters, at Chachi Says for him, at Rebellious Flaw, and you'll be seeing a lot of media coming from us just because that's what we do, you know. So what do you got going on? What are you doing with your week off from SorgatronMedia.com?
Well, I am returning to my home nation of Greene County here in Pennsylvania. I am going to spend some quality time with the family, recharge in the country, in the silence, look at some stars. I'll also be writing a fair amount, so there should be a lot of content coming up, theoretically, on ThoughtfulRiot.com and maybe a couple other places. I will be tweeting. I'm not disconnecting from the tubes in any way. I'm just getting a little change of scenery, so it's gonna be freaking sweet.
Let's get the F out of here. Thanks, guys. Check us out, WrestlingMayhemShow.com, at Mayhem Show for any updates. Good times at Wrestling Mayhem Show, and also our 412-2006 to WM0. Thank you. I'm Sorg.
I'm DJ Lunchbox.
And you're the Mayhem Nation. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you for listening to the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Please subscribe to our iTunes streams and blog at WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
Email us at goodtimes@WrestlingMayhemShow.com or call us with any comments at 412-206-WMS0. We love to hear from our fans, and who knows, maybe you'll make it onto the show.
The Wrestling Mayhem Show was recorded live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in front of a live internet audience, and is a production of Sorgatron Media.
You can be part of the show as we record live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on TalkShoe.com and Eastern.tv.